Are you ready to discover the wonders of Denmark? Get ready, because in the next few minutes we will explore the secrets, charms and curiosities of this fascinating country. But first, think for a moment. Did you know that Denmark is consistently ranked as one of the happiest countries in the world? Have you ever wondered what makes the Danes so satisfied with life? In this video, we are going to dive into the roots of this happiness, explore fascinating castles, taste authentic cuisine, and discover places where history meets modernity. But here's the thing. Every detail of this video was carefully designed to give you a complete experience. If you truly want to understand what makes Denmark so unique, you need to stay with us until the end. It's not just about beautiful landscapes, it's about embarking on a full journey where every curiosity and every unmissable destination makes all the difference. Have you ever imagined yourself in a place where the seas meet, but their waters don't mix? Or walking through historic streets that inspired the tales of Hans Christian Andersen? That's just a taste of what you're about to see, so don't miss the chance to have this complete experience with us. Are you ready to discover some incredible facts about Denmark that will surprise you? Let's do it. Denmark leads the world happiness rankings. With a robust welfare system and free education and healthcare, the Danes live in a country that is constantly at the top of the World Happiness Report. Imagine living in a place where the well-being of the population is a priority. The land where Lego was born. Did you know that the world's most famous building blocks were created here? In 1958, the first Lego was launched, and since then, these little bricks have won over generations all around the globe. It's no wonder that play is taken seriously here. More bicycles than cars. In Copenhagen, bicycles rule the streets. Incredibly, the city's inhabitants cycle together more than 1 million kilometers per day. A true paradise for lovers of two wheels. Never far from the sea, with more than 400 islands, Denmark has a unique connection with the ocean. No matter where you are in the country, you will never be more than 50 kilometers from the coast. The relationship with the sea is part of the Danish soul. And of course, we can't forget to mention the impressive Øresund Bridge, which links Denmark to Sweden. This engineering marvel is 16 kilometers long, combining motorway and railway, and even includes a breathtaking underwater tunnel. So, if you want to discover more about local culture, fascinating curiosities, and the unmissable destinations of Denmark, stay with me until the end. I promise you won't regret it. Shall we begin this journey? The first destination is the majestic Frederiksborg Castle, a true icon of Danish Renaissance architecture. Built at the beginning of the 17th century, the castle is not just an ancient fortress. It is surrounded by a serene lake, creating the illusion that it floats upon the water. Strolling through its meticulously designed gardens feels like being inside a living painting, where every detail reveals Denmark's rich history. Frederiksborg was almost completely destroyed by a fire in 1859, but it was restored thanks to the generosity of J.C. Jacobsen, the founder of Carlsberg Brewery, who financed the reconstruction, preserving the castle as a national symbol. In addition to its architectural beauty, the castle houses the Museum of National History, where you can explore more than 500 years of Danish history through a vast collection of art, portraits, and original furniture. The castle also served as the coronation site for Danish kings, highlighting its historical importance. The Baroque gardens, created in the 18th century, are a separate attraction, with fountains, mazes, and breathtaking views. Frederiksborg is in Hillerød, about 40 kilometers from Copenhagen, and is easily accessible by train. The town, with its welcoming historic centre, offers charming cafes and local shops. Walking through Hillerød, reveals cobbled streets and enchanting Nordic architecture, bringing a unique sense of Denmark. Now let's head to Skagen, at the northernmost tip of Denmark, where nature offers a spectacle that's hard to believe unless you see it with your own eyes. Here, the Baltic and North Seas meet in a truly impressive visual clash. Curiously, even though they collide, their waters do not mix. On one side, you have the dark, dense waters of the Baltic. On the other, the clearer, more turbulent waters of the North Sea. This dividing line between the two seas creates a unique natural phenomenon, as if nature itself were painting a giant masterpiece. But Skagen is not just about the meeting of the seas. The town is famous for its fine, white, sandy beaches, known as some of the most beautiful in all of Denmark. It is the perfect place for anyone who wants to stroll along the seashore, relax in the fresh breeze, or simply admire the dunes that stretch along the coast. Skagen's beaches have a special charm, surrounded by yellow painted houses with red roofs, maintaining the typical look of small Danish villages. Beyond its natural beauty, Skagen has a peculiar surprise: the Teddy Bear Museum. That's right, it is the only place in Scandinavia entirely dedicated to these iconic toys. With a collection of more than 1,200 bears of all shapes, sizes and origins, the museum is a nostalgic and fun outing for both children and adults. Each bear has its own story, and some are true relics, dating back over 100 years. Our next destination is Denmark's vibrant capital, Copenhagen, where tradition and modernity coexist in perfect harmony. Starting your day walking through the city's historic streets is like taking a journey through time. One of the first unmissable stops is the Marble Church, whose construction began in 1749, but curiously was only completed more than 150 years later, in 1894. Its enormous green dome is one of the largest in Europe, and walking through its interior, you will be amazed by the details of the pure marble that gives the church its name. But Copenhagen has much more to offer beyond its history. As the sun sets, the city takes on a special energy. The streets come alive, especially in the live music bars scattered throughout neighborhoods like Vesterbro and Nørrebro. It is impossible not to feel the vibe as local and international bands take to the small stages, transforming the city into a true cultural stage. These bars are famous for their warm and relaxed atmosphere, where both locals and tourists mix in search of good music and a lively setting. And of course, no visit to Copenhagen would be complete without seeing the famous Little Mermaid. This iconic statue, inspired by Hans Christian Andersen's tale, is one of Denmark's best-known attractions. Located on the edge of the harbour, the Little Mermaid may be small in size, but she is huge in significance. Over the years, she has become a symbol of Copenhagen and a spot for reflection for those who visit, representing the fusion of fantasy and reality right in the heart of the city. If you love discovering new cultures, uncovering surprising facts about countries and cities around the world, and are always searching for the next story that will leave you amazed, then this channel is for you. Like, subscribe, and turn on the notification bell so you don't miss any of our content. And if you know someone who also loves exploring the world, share it with them. Let's turn every video into a new adventure together. The small and charming island of Bornholm, known as the Sunshine Island, is one of Denmark's most stunning destinations. Situated in the Baltic Sea, Bornholm captivates with both its white sandy beaches and lush forests that stretch across the island. The island stands out for receiving more sunlight than anywhere else in the country, creating a light and welcoming atmosphere. This perfect setting attracts artists and travellers seeking inspiration in the natural landscapes and tranquility, away from the hustle and bustle of big cities. Bornholm is also famous for its authentic cuisine, especially smoked herring, a delicacy that represents the best of local flavors. The fish is traditionally smoked in small smokehouses along the coast, and its taste is the perfect combination of the freshness of the sea and local tradition. Visitors usually enjoy this speciality with rye bread or potatoes, creating a culinary experience that reflects the island's strong connection to the sea. Moreover, the small fishing villages around the island offer cozy restaurants where you can savor fresh herring and other local delights while enjoying breathtaking views of the Baltic. The town of Ribe, the oldest in Denmark, is a true historical treasure that transports visitors straight to the Viking Age. Founded over 1,300 years ago, Ribe has preserved its medieval charm, with winding cobbled streets and buildings that seem to have come from an old storybook. Walking through Ribe feels like strolling through an open-air museum, where every corner holds stories dating back to Denmark's very foundation. The town breathes history, and it is impossible not to be impressed by the unique atmosphere that blends Viking heritage with contemporary life. An essential stop for anyone visiting Ribe is the Viking Museum, which offers a deep immersion into the culture and lifestyle of the Vikings. The museum houses a rich collection of artifacts, from weapons and tools to jewelry and clothing, providing a detailed insight into how the Vikings lived, fought, and traded. Ribe, as an important Viking trading centre, played a crucial role in the development of what would become the Kingdom of Denmark. Through interactive exhibitions, visitors can explore this fascinating civilization that, in many ways, shaped the future not just of Denmark, but of the entire world. In addition to the museum, Ribe also boasts Ribe Cathedral, one of the oldest and most impressive cathedrals in Denmark, whose bell tower offers a breathtaking panoramic view of the town and the surrounding countryside. It is a town that manages to keep the connection between the distant past and the modern present alive without losing its Viking spirit. Now we head to Møns Klint, one of the most spectacular natural settings in Denmark. The imposing white cliffs, which rise majestically above the Baltic Sea, were formed more than 70 million years ago, slowly sculpted by the forces of nature. At over 120 meters high, the cliffs offer panoramic views that seem endless. From the top, you can gaze out over the sea in different shades of blue and green, creating an impressive contrast with the bright white of the chalk. Beyond its breathtaking beauty, Møns Klint is a site of great geological importance. The area is rich in fossils, many of them remnants from the age of the dinosaurs, making it especially attractive for lovers of nature and science. As you walk along the trails, it's common to see visitors exploring the beach at the foot of the cliffs, searching for coral and ammonite fossils. It's an experience that blends adventure and knowledge in a setting of unparalleled beauty. The walk along the cliffs requires a bit of effort, but the reward is immense. Climbing the many steps to the top, you're met with one of Denmark's most stunning views. The fresh Baltic winds, the sound of waves crashing against the rocks below, and the vastness of the horizon create a moment of pure connection with nature. Møns Klint is also the perfect spot for photography enthusiasts, with landscapes that change with every angle, revealing different aspects of the cliffs and the surrounding vegetation. We arrive at the imposing Kronborg castle, located in the charming town of Helsingør at the far north of Zealand. This Renaissance castle, built in the 16th century, is world famous as the setting for William Shakespeare's play Hamlet. And as you walk through its corridors, it's easy to see why the playwright found so much inspiration here. The immense towers that rise above the Øresund Strait seem to guard the waters separating Denmark from Sweden, and the sensation of being in a place so steeped in history is simply unmatched. Kronborg Castle, served for centuries as a strategic fortress, protecting the strait, which was a crucial naval route at the time. The robust yet elegant structure reflects the Danish power of times past, when kings and nobles ruled the region. With every step inside the castle, it feels as if you're travelling back in time, imagining what life was like in the royal halls, full of banquets and political decisions that shaped the history of Scandinavia. For Shakespeare fans, being here is almost like seeing Hamlet's story come to life, with the dramatic atmosphere of the stone rooms and corridors echoing the words of the famous English bard. One of the highlights of visiting the castle is walking along the ramparts, which offer a privileged view of the Öresund Strait. On clear days, it's possible to see the coast of Sweden on the other side, and the contrast between the deep blue of the sea and the green of the surrounding hills makes the panorama even more spectacular. The ramparts, which once served to defend the kingdom, now provide visitors with a unique visual experience that blends nature and history. Now our journey takes us to the enchanting island of Funen, the heart of rural Denmark. Funen is known as the Garden of Denmark due to its idyllic landscapes and picturesque small villages. At the centre of it all, we find the magnificent Egeskov Slot, one of the best preserved Renaissance castles in Europe. Built in the middle of the 16th century, with its imposing towers, it is surrounded by a moat full of water. Strolling through the grounds of Egeskov Slot, it's impossible not to be captivated by the impeccably maintained gardens that surround the castle. The Renaissance-style gardens, with green mazes and elegant fountains, are a true work of art. During the spring and summer months, flowers transform the space into a festival of colours, making it one of the most sought-after destinations for peaceful walks and picnics. In addition, the castle houses exhibitions showcasing the history of Danish nobility, with an impressive collection of armour, antique furniture and historical artefacts. But Funen is not just about the castle. The island, often overlooked by tourists who focus on the bigger cities, offers a glimpse of the true rural beauty of Denmark. With its charming villages such as Faaborg and Svendborg, visitors can explore cobbled streets and colourful little houses where tranquility reigns. The green fields and traditional farms reveal a simple and authentic Denmark, far from the urban hustle and bustle. Driving or cycling around the island is a refreshing experience, passing gentle hills and panoramic views that showcase the country's most serene side. Our next destination is the serene island of Rømø, located in the North Sea, a true haven for nature and tranquility lovers. Rømø is famous for its vast white sandy beaches, which seem to stretch endlessly towards the horizon. In certain spots, the stretch of sand is so wide that it's possible to drive directly up to the shoreline, an experience so unique and surprising that few places in the world can offer it. During the summer months, these beaches come alive with kite surfers and windsurfers, making the most of the gentle breezes that constantly blow across the island. But Rømø is also a paradise for wildlife lovers. The beaches and surrounding areas are among the best places in Denmark for birdwatching, especially during the migratory seasons. A great variety of migratory bird species can be seen here, attracting birdwatchers from all over the world who come to witness this natural spectacle. And for those who want to explore even further, the island's proximity to the Wadden Sea National Park, a UNESCO World Heritage Site, offers a unique opportunity to discover one of the richest ecosystems in Europe. This park is famous for its low tides, which expose vast mud flats teeming with marine life, making it an ideal habitat for migratory birds, seals, and other wildlife. Walking around Rømø is an invitation to relax with open landscapes that evoke a sense of freedom. The fresh air and the vastness of the beaches provide a unique connection with nature, far from the hustle and bustle of city life. we end our journey at the charming Lake Aresø, the largest lake in Denmark, located to the north of Copenhagen. This vast body of water, covering more than 40 square kilometers, is surrounded by serene natural scenery, with dense forests and quiet trails, offering the perfect retreat for anyone seeking to connect with nature. As you stroll along the lake's shores, it is impossible not to be captivated by the beauty of the trees, reflected in the calm waters, creating an almost magical scene, ideal for contemplation and relaxation. Lake Aresø is also a popular destination for outdoor enthusiasts, especially boating. There are options for exploring the lake in small boats, allowing you to glide across the placid waters while admiring the region's rich biodiversity. For wildlife lovers, the lake is a true paradise, especially for waterfowl. Various species of ducks, herons, and other migratory birds make the lake their home or stopping point, making the area an ideal spot for birdwatching throughout the year. In addition, the trails surrounding the lake offer a perfect opportunity for hiking and cycling, with panoramic views that reveal the untouched tranquility of the landscape. Whether in the silence of the morning or at sunset, Lake Aresø radiates a sense of deep peace, a natural refuge where it is possible to completely disconnect from the fast pace of modern life. This was just a taste of what Denmark has to offer. Every corner of this country reveals a new discovery, whether in the streets of its vibrant cities, the majestic castles that hark back to bygone eras, or its enchanting natural wonders. Denmark is a destination where the modern and the ancient meet in harmonious balance, creating a unique atmosphere. From Copenhagen, with its blend of urban life and history, to tranquil islands like Bornholm and Rømø, each region has its own personality and charm. And what about the natural phenomena? From the meeting of the seas in Skagen to the impressive cliffs of Møns Klint, Denmark offers landscapes that remain engraved in your memory. We cannot forget the castles like Frederiksborg and Kronborg, which tell tales of kings, wars, and even Shakespeare. Travelling across the countryside and picturesque towns, we find a cultural richness spanning centuries of history and tradition, in perfect harmony with the innovation and sustainable lifestyle that define the country today. But Denmark is more than just a tourist destination. It is a country that lives and breathes quality of life, consistently ranked as one of the happiest places in the world. Its combination of well-being, respect for nature, and sense of community is what truly sets it apart. So, after exploring its wonders in this video, the question remains: have you started planning your next trip yet? There is so much more to discover in this small but fascinating Nordic country. Leave a comment telling us which destination caught your attention the most, and what will be the first stop on your next trip to Denmark. Who knows, your journey might begin right here, with the first step inspired by this adventure.